Hi guys, I'm Shreya and this is Decoding Code. This video will mostly just be about why Util classes are very important, and I'll show you some of the methods that you can put in those classes that are just very basic and that you might need to use a lot. So let's just jump straight into it. So I have these two methods and I made this Util class because here I have this simple method of just getting an integer from the user. And you might be like, why would you need to make a whole method out of that? Well, because it's so simple, we should put it into a Util class so that we can use it over and over again in my code. And you might see that I put the static keyword here. That is basically just so that I don't have to make an object of this class in order to use it in my code, and I can just be like integer util dot get in from user, and I can use that completely fine. And I'm basically assigning this method to this entire class, and it's static, so it doesn't change from object to object like that, and you don't even have to make an object to access it. So if you didn't get that, I can put my static keywords video in the cards, and you can kind of look over that and quickly get an understanding of the static keyword, because we do use it in a lot of times in the methods in our Util classes. So I have this very simple just method of getting the integer from the user, and I will use that so much in my code, and it's very just useful. And this second method here actually is I also use the static keyword because, again, this is a method that I want to use, like it doesn't vary from object to object, it's just assigned to the class and it's static. And this is get random between, so I'm setting a minimum and a maximum, and I want to get a random number between these two. I'm going to use math.random in this, and math.random gives you a double that is between 0.0 and 1.0, and it's inclusive to 0.0 but exclusive to 1.0. So what I did was I made the max plus 1, and then I made this integer random int, and I'm casting it as an integer because math.random gives you a double. What this does is it takes that math.random, that double, it multiplies that by the max minus the min, and then adds the min. And you might be like, isn't that just the max? But it makes sure that it is actually greater than the minimum, but also less than the maximum, which is what I want here. And then what I'm going to do is just return that random int. Max is max plus 1, because what I want is that math.random doesn't ever give me 1, so I'm making the max plus 1 to include the maximum from before, the maximum inputted. So in this case, if I put in like 2 and 5, then the max would become 6, and then I could get 5 in this equation. Those are the two methods that I have here, and I might use these a lot in my code, and that is exactly why I have them here. Like, this is a lot, and I don't necessarily want to keep typing that out, and you'll see that I can literally do all of that and print out an integer without any errors with just one line using this method. So I think that is pretty cool, and that's why you need Util classes. So let's just go test it out really quickly. And right now I'm just printing out the number that I'm going to say, because I just did 6, do it again, I can put anything, and it already has those errors accounted for. So I literally did this in one line, but it's giving me back the number, and it's really efficient. What's gonna happen is, and I actually want to comment this part out now, and what's gonna happen is that it's gonna give me a random number between 2 and 5, and actually, just to test out if the max and min are inclusive, I can actually just put in 1 and 2, because then I won't have to try as much to get the max and the min. So let's actually do that. So it gave me 1 first, okay, and then it gave me 2. There we go, only 2 tries and I got both of them. So that tells me that the max and the min are inclusive, and that's what I wanted, so that if they give it to me between this range, then I want to include the max and the min. which is, yeah, basically what I set out to do. So that is the kind of showing the importance of the Util class, and I literally just put out 2 lines of code and it can do a lot. So also make sure to put in the static keyword so that you don't have to make an object and then use the method in that object. You can just do something like this in like literally 1 line. It's very nice. And yeah, that's just the importance of the Util class. If you want, you can go and make your own right now and figure out what you might use in the future a lot, and then you can make that on your own. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe for more of this content. I upload every Monday, and you can comment down below any feedback or questions that you guys might have for me. And I will see you guys again next week when I upload. Bye!